Well, it's Friday. You've made it through another week. Can you tell? Well, we've only got a few more to go, and then we'll be able to go back to normal, whatever that is. But we're going to be kind of practicing social distancing probably throughout the summer and pay attention to the web page and some other ways that we'll be reaching out to you, kind of tell you how we're going to get re-engaged as a church here at Brentwood. As most of you know, I have a degree in speech and theater and from Stanford University. And so when I see the word hypocrite, that's a very important word to me because it literally means actor. It means someone who acts in the Greek theater. And the way that happened was because there was no megaphone, there was no microphones or sound, they would put a mask on the actor, a big mask, and in that mask would be a megaphone. And that's the way the actor's voice would be heard, would be through that megaphone. And so the word hypocrite literally means mask wearer. And so when you see the word hypocrite in the New Testament, especially when Jesus is saying you hypocrites, or the writers are going you hypocrites, what they're saying is you are someone who wears the mask of Christ, but you are not the person who really follows Christ. And so now as we journey in the Sermon on the Mount, we get to the place where Jesus is confronting his followers and tells them, you know people who do this, and they are hypocrites. You are not to be that way. You know people who are play actors, who are people who know how to look like a Christian, who put on the mask of Christian, but they aren't real Christians at all. We live in a time where there's all kind of knockoffs. We have a huge problem throughout the world of knockoffs in purses and clothes and everything that people's minds say, oh, this is a real, and they'll name the name brand, and the expert will look at it and go, no, because of the stitching, because of the color of this or that, you have a fake. I like watches, and there's a whole market in fake expensive watches. And the experts, you can see this on YouTube, the experts will go, no, this is a fake. How do you know? Well, you can see by the way the second hand clicks. On some watches, the second hand pops. On others, it sweeps. And the way you can tell is how that second hand works. Jesus, throughout this story, the Sermon on the Mount, has told us this is how you can tell who's real. This is how you know who my people really are. And the others are hypocrites. Now, I'm not talking about, now we all have this as long as there's been a Southern Baptist church. There's always been people talking about preaching against hypocrites, people who come to church on Sunday and act meaner than the devil on Monday. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about those of us who had the veneer of Christianity, but not the heart of a Christian. We've been to church long enough to know when to stand up, when to sit down. We know how to pray, and we may even do it from time to time. But there's no authentic relationship with Jesus. How can you tell? All right, here's the test. Does it flow out, in, and then to Jesus of the world? That is, I see something, I say, okay, I need to be kinder. So I work at kindness. And then I try to become kind by playing that I'm kind. Here's how it happens. As you focus on Christ, remember praise is focus. When you focus on Christ, I'm going to notice those things in Christ's life that I want. Boy, he has this, I don't. Kindness is one of them. Now, where does that kindness come from? That kindness comes because identity, purpose, destiny, all of those things that the world says that they will give me, Jesus gives me, okay? The world tells you they can give you all that. They can't. And a lot of you are frustrated because the world promised something they couldn't deliver. Who I am, what I'm called to do, what I'm to be about, my worth, my purpose, all of that is settled in Christ. Because of that, and because he lives in me, there's a gentleness that flows out of me from him. Is it something you're trying to grab and put in you? That's a hypocrite. That's putting on. Or is it something that flows out of you? That's the real deal. So for the next few days, we're going to be spending some time where Jesus says, you watch the hypocrites do this, you're not to do this. Here's the way the real follower does it. So, here's the question for the weekend. Are you a follower of Christ? Or are you just good at pretending to be a follower of Christ? Are you the real deal? Or are you a good actor? I'll give you about 60 seconds to think about it, and I'll see you on Monday.